Hello fans of Marvel Heroes, this is going to be a short video on the Omega Nooks that may help you on this whole entire Omega race, or even for leveling as well. If you are new players, this video is for you, just to explain a little bit of how experience point work in this game. When you play this game, when you defeat enemies, you will have like enemy defeat, you have XP. But on top of that, you may have some kind of like green orbs around when some of the major enemies are being destroyed, or when you complete a certain like mini quest, like you go into a terminal whereby you stop some people from doing something, and you may have some golden orb somewhere. Or when you've complete your legendary, you've seen like the orange orbs or share quests and so on. So all these orbs will give you experience, but that experience XP that you earn can be amplified in a couple of ways. So this video is about mainly to talk about what are the ways to amplify those XP so you can level a little bit faster, may earn your Omega points a little bit faster, and you could also use the Omega system to do that. I would like to share with you some tips when it comes to that particular notes to pick for this Omega race. Now first and foremost, you can check your stats here. Who have known the days when we don't talk about DPS anymore. So there are a couple of things you'd like to take a look here. The first thing first is the hero synergy bonus. So just check out the wording here. I'm not going to read it out, but what it essentially means is that the more heroes you have at level 60, the more XP bonus you have, and it's capped at 200%. Now 200% is pretty substantial, so it's something that you aim for. And I've got a lot of questions asked: should I level my heroes up to level 50 for the hero synergy, or should I take the hero up to 60? Well, the answer is should be 60, because at 60 you will get a lot more kind of like bonus and so on. So it is something that you should consider at least achieving when you leveling multiple heroes to level 60 to get this number to 200%. But on top of that, you have other stuff like that too, besides the hero synergy. And there are two things here. You could either have the additional flat damage, flat bonus that's granted by defeating enemies, or you have all these other extra bonus that you can add on to it because based on your Omega system and so on. So this is something that you should also look into when you look into what is the XP that you earn, and stuff like you can enchant, for example, per enemy defeat is plus 40, plus 40, plus 40. So here is already 120. So you can see that this 120 come from the gear itself. Then I have 200% come from the 200% come from the hero synergy. And you may ask, where is the extra 18%? Now there's something called the intelligence. Intelligence also grants you extra XP. All right, so that gives you, for example, at intelligent level rank 3, I get 3% XP, and that explains the 3%. Then what about the rest? I've got account bonus as well because I've got a pack in the early days. So all these things sum up together, give you the overall kind of like XP bonus. Remember, the 1% affect the orbs that you collect. The one that in numeric plus 120 is per enemy defeat. So for example, if you go into a patrol environment whereby you defeat a lot of enemies out there, you tag a lot of enemy with your area kind of damage, you get the 120 per enemy extra XP. But overall, if you collect orbs, orange, green, yellow, whatnot color, you get 218% on top of that. But that's only at the client side, which is where you are here. There's also a server side XP as well, because depending on the event, they may say, oh, we give you 100% server side bonus. Now what it really means is that you have 100% multiplied with whatever that you have 218%. So it is a big deal that you should also pay attention to when it comes to whether you should boost your XP using some temporary potion or not. Now, there are many boosters out there, XP boosters, some may stack on each other and whatnot. There are a lot of things you can purchase on the store. You can collect cube shard to exchange Mark 1 fortune card that may have chance for all this XP booster. So you could use a booster in addition to whatever bonus you have to give you the kind of advantage to your whole leveling journey. And don't forget, use the booster only when the service side bonus is high, because that multiply with what you have here. Alright, so now that is part 1 of the video, which is on mainly explaining how the XP works. Besides the enchant that you could boost your XP per enemy defeat. Besides the hero synergy that I talked about, besides the account bonus that I've also talked about, and also besides the intelligence, there's another thing called the hero synergy bonus as well. So if you look at the all these heroes that you have collected until level 25, level 50, each of them may have a different attribute, a benefit to it for all the heroes in your roster. And if you have, say, Cyclops, for example, it gives you an extra 10%, right? So how this one read is that if you go back to this character sheet itself, everything makes sense because 200% come from the hero synergy bonus XP, 10% come from the Cyclops XP bonus, and then 3% come from the intelligence. 5% is my account because I have this account bonus for the pack that I purchased in the past. And after that, 120 is from the enchant, all right, 40. So knowing where things come from is important because that is going to help you deciding when to boost certain thing at the client side, something that you can control. Give you another example. I've got a patch that have +1, to all attribute. So this one give me another 1% of the XP bonus because now it's instead of 118 become 119 because why? Because +1 to all attribute will then boost my intelligence to 4% to give a 4% XP as well. So all these things, once you get the hang of it, is very simple. So now let's talk about the Omega system. Which are the notes that you like to pay attention when it comes to leveling your hero? This part of the video is about how to use the Omega system to enhance your leveling experience and to just level a little bit faster, gain your Omega points a little bit faster as well. For those who are new to this game, Omega system is a wonderful endgame system whereby you could use whatever you earn here for all the heroes you have to either enhance the damage output and or better survivability and or better leveling experience as well as team support. So there are many good things in this Omega system and it's considered as an end game system. It's called end game, however you could start earning experience for the Omega system as soon as you sign up for this game, level 1. You can start earning that this whole thing. You can start from level 1, the rank 1, all the way to 10,000. There are 10,000 Omega points for you to collect. And it gets a little bit harder as you level up, it gets a little bit slower as well. So in a way, once you get to a certain point threshold, you feel that, well, man, I really want to speed things up a little bit. So we talk about how you can increase your XP bonus, and now we are talking about how to use the Omega system to augment that as well. Now, but before I get there, just a word of caution here. There's always two schools of thought. One school of thought is that if you kill things faster, wouldn't you gain your experience faster? Another school of thought is that, well, if I boost my XP higher, wouldn't I get there sooner as well? I guess it depends on what kind of content you play, because if you want to rush certain boss and you want to have a fast turnaround, then yeah, if you use the Omega system for your ultimate damage output, I could kind of understand because you want a fast turnaround. However, if you also pay attention to how this game works, because sometimes you have all these green orbs, yellow orbs, and orange orbs that you can collect as you complete the quest. Those orbs will get boosted by some portion of the XP as well. So, and sometimes it's a balance between the two, because you could kill things faster, but then again, when you collect all these orbs, whereby this is a big payoff, and you don't get as much as if you were to boost your XP, right? So it's always something you need to trade off. And and another thing to think about before you do all these things is are you having some kind of good gears already? For example, if you have good artifact, good blessing, and you have the legendary to back you up, and you have all the unique and upgrade to grade 66, 69, your team insignia, your cosmic medallion, all upgrade to rank 66. If your gear is pretty alright, then maybe you could afford to shift some of these points into the nodes whereby it rewards you a bigger payout when it comes to the XP that you collect or even the enemy defeat. Alright, so that's my point of view. And I'm going to share with you my experience when it comes to which are the nodes to pick. And I'm kind of picky as well because I wouldn't want to waste my Omega points on things that are not necessary. Usually I don't. And the node I would like to recommend usually come from several perspectives as well. It doesn't take a lot to lead up to it because there are a lot of XP or whatnot that may take a bit of unlocking to get there, and to me, it could be a waste. And I'm also balancing between some of the penalty as well, because some of the time you need to trade off by certain things like move speed and so on. So I'm going to go through all these things consider with you. All right. When you start playing this game, I think a couple of things that I would like to recommend here in the psionic kind of like tree. There's something called the Clairsentience. This one is wonderful. It's 1 point per note, and you can rank it up to. By the way, press Shift key when you press the left button is 10 points immediately. So you can have like 25 of them. For 25 points, you get extra 25 XP per enemy defeat. It's kind of decent. And in a larger scheme of work, 25 points is not really a lot. So, for people who are leveling, for you who are leveling, for me who is getting Omega system, I wouldn't mind the 25 point into here. All right. The next one is this guy here, Precognition. Precognition is interesting as well. It costs, of course, way more than the Clairsentience, but there's a dodge component to it. So I sort of think that although I say dodge is kind of like not that great, because it depends on whether your hero is a dodge hero or not. Because if your hero is already a dodge hero, whatever you add onto it, diminishing return, you don't really get a lot out from it. But having said that, I mean, if your hero is not really if you're defense hero, it's not bad to racking up some of this dodge rating as well. So it's something to consider. I personally would take it, but it takes 40 points. So consume at least like a 200 kind of Omega point in order for you to get there. Something to think about. So these are the low-hanging fruit for you to think about. This one definitely something I would recommend. This one is if you get a little bit higher, then you may consider. Another one that I like to recommend is all the way to here, which is very much like the Clairsentience, which is the white color here, the microsurgery experimental robotic. Same thing. It's like 1 point per XP, but you get 5 points at the same time. So you could can have 25 of them. Of course, it will take a little bit more, but it's 125 XP. It works exactly like the other one that you have, the Clairsentience. All right. So something that I would recommend if you like the per enemy defeat, if you do a lot of not boss rushing, because boss rushing you don't really benefit from here, but rather than say you play a lot of story or patrol, these are the good notes for you to gain, because it's per enemy defeat. All right. Now, what about if you want to go deeper? I say, yeah, I mean, I have a lot of Omega point. I can sort of afford to dump some in. There are a couple of things I would like to recommend to you. Intelligence is a good thing, because intelligence gives you the XP bonus and also give you crit as well as a crit damage rating as well. You can check out here. What intelligence gives you is over here. You can see the crit and crit damage rating. So traditionally, I would put a lot on Shadow King, because Shadow King give me crit hit. But then if you want to shift into an intelligent build for your Omega race, then you wouldn't need to put too many points here, and you can start to use this one to open up to the second one, which is Supreme Intelligence. For 190, you get 1 intelligence. It's great stuff. And then for another 1,002, and I don't know why they don't break this down into smaller pieces, because I thought the whole point about the whole Omega system remake is to say, one point, something that, easier for you to swallow. But yeah, I mean, this one is great, because for 1,200 points, you can get +6 intelligence. So it's something that if you can afford, go for it. The Overmind's power is great stuff. Now the question is, shall you put this to +10 as well? That is where I come in a picture whereby sometimes I have to consider am I putting too much onto my XP but not too much onto my damage? Because by the time I put all this thing in, I don't really have a lot of Omega points left. So I could dump another 1,000 points inside to get my 9 extra intelligence. Or I could put it somewhere else. My take is that I don't like this one to be all maxed out. Why? Because I don't like the move speed penalty. Move speed penalty, because you feel your hero is kind of lackish when you put a +10 to it, unless you are playing a teleport hero. But even so, for 10% reduced move speed, you will feel the pain, and I wouldn't like that. So my recommendation is just for you to open up this +9 intelligence. And if you still have extra points to add, something that to consider is this guy here. I take all 10 of them because it's +10 intelligence. I don't really care about the whole basic power or summon ally damage. but it's something that I would sort of like consider the plus 10. And once you get there, I mean, you know, you could, there are other notes for you to consider as well, but I said, I mean, you know, I just want to get things started, and I already, from 7,500, I lose at least more than half of it. I only left with 3,200 points. So, you know, once I accept it, what do I get? You know, if you remember, my intelligence get up to 21, so it's 21% XP. It's great. Because previously you see me only about 219, I think. Then after that it becomes 236. Every bit counts when it comes to the whole Omega race, when it comes to the whole leveling, whole grinding as well. And more so, I got 310 instead of 120 per enemy defeat. And you can rack up a lot of enemies, and you get all these things scaled as well. So I hope this video helped you to understand where are the areas whereby you can boost your XP experience without sacrificing too much onto your DPS, and also give you kind of like a trade-off scenario whereby you may want to go for just the low-hanging fruit, or you want to go a little bit deeper to unlock some of this potential. So just to recap on the whole thing about the XP bonus side is that you have a client side bonus, all right, and the hero, the more level 60 or 50 heroes that you have, the more XP bonus you will have for this hero synergy bonus, up to 20%. And you also have the permanent account bonus if you have bought a pet long time ago. And Cyclops XP synergy give you plus 10%. Intelligence gives you the percentage as well. And then you have the per enemy defeat. And you could do it by the gear. You can do enchanting plus 40 XP per enemy defeat on your slot 2, 3, and 4. You can equip pets as well as medallion for the plus intelligence as well, and you can use your Omega system to augment both the XP bonus as well as the XP per enemy defeat. XP per enemy defeat as well as the plus intelligence that will eventually give you XP bonus. And intelligence is not that bad also because it gives you the crit hit and also crit damage rating. So that's all for today, and thank you very much for watching. Any question or any other further tips for other fellow Marvel Heroes fans as well, if you are a veteran, drop in the comment box below and people may benefit as well, and I may annotate this video accordingly. So have a nice day, and happy grinding on your Omega points. Bye.